Welcome back to the high-low tutorial. If you're just joining us and you haven't started this tutorial before, you might actually want to go back to the start of the tutorial. Have a look in the comments below for links to help you get there. Otherwise, in this tutorial, we'll be looking at picking up the game and allowing us to add a play again. So we can actually ask the user when the game concludes if they want to play again. We need to reset some global game variables so the user can play again. And we need to also set up a low score table and adjust the low score so we can actually keep a low score table of the best players. So as you play, if you guess it in 3, then your score would be better than someone who guesses it in 5, and hence why it's called a low score table. So just remember, if you're just joining us, you may wish to go have a look at the previous tutorials. Otherwise, if you're ready for it, let's get into the programming part of this. From our previous tutorial, we can actually come in and select a game type. So I'm just going to select 1 for an beginner's game. We've also still got the secret number being shown, so we can cheat a little bit. We can ask the user if they would like a hint for 2 guesses. I'm going to enter in Y. It tells you the number's even. As we can see, 8 divided by 2 is an even number. And then we can enter the guess. So if we put in 9, it should be too high. If we put in 1, too low. And when they guess the correct number, 8, it says winner, winner, chicken dinner. And it gives us a total of 5. And that's because we've had 3 guesses plus the 2 penalty guesses for the help. So we're picking it up from here, and we want to be able to now go back and play the game again, rather than playing one game and having to go start all over again. So let's go implement that. Now to do this, we need to actually go all the way back up to the top, and underneath our global variables, we're going to set a new variable, and it's going to be called play again. And this is going to be set to true. So this play again allows the user to keep playing. So we're going to have a while statement that says while play again equals true. We want to play the game. And what is the game? Well, actually now it's all our code from pretty well my line 11 all the way to the end of the program down here. That's our whole game at the moment. And I'm just going to press the tab once and indent that so it's all within that while statement. So you can now see that all that code's been indented, so it's part of this while statement. So while play again equals true, it's going to keep playing the game. So let's quickly run this. And I'm just going to select an easy game and go 1. And it goes, well, the answer's 9. Do I want to help? No. And my guess, I'm just going to put 9 in, and you'll notice it's automatically dropped us into a new game. But the problem is, if I keep playing, I'm going to go 1 and go no, and answer it correctly. Oh, it didn't even give me a chance to answer. And that's because some of the global variables haven't been changed. So let's go have a look at that. So first of all, while play again equals true. So once the game has finished, I really want to ask the user, do they want to play again? So I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom of my program, and after the print end again, I'm just going to go to the end and press enter. In here, I'm going to ask the user another game. So this is going to be where I store their answer, and I'm going to use an input and quotes, and I say, would you like to play again? Why or no? Question mark. So I'm going to make sure that's a string, so I'm going to go str and put that in brackets. And I've explained this in a previous tutorial. And also I'm going to take the user input and make sure it is lowercase. So I'm going to go another game equals another game dot lower, which will make sure that the input, if they put in a capital Y, gets turned to a lowercase y. And then I'm going to use an if statement that says, well, if another game equals lowercase y, then play again equals true, else if they don't want to play again, so they put in anything else, it'll be play again equals false. And this way, after they ask the question, answer the question, if they don't want to play again, the game ends. So I'll put another print statement here. Thank you for playing. And that will be the end of the game then. So let's have a look at this running. So I'm going to stop the program from before and go back in its runtime. I'm going to select a game, so I'm just going to select game 2. The answer is 23. Do I want a hint? No. Enter a guess. I'm just going to put 23. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Would you like to play again? So if I go yes, it comes up and I can play again. So I can go 2. And it's gone straight into would you like a hint? No. Would you like to play again? It didn't let me play, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Would you like to play again? No. And thank you for playing. So as you can see, I'll just correct this would. Would you like to play again? So what actually happens in our game, if they do guess it, I need to reset some variables. One of the variables that change is winner equals true. So when we play the game, we keep allowing them to input a guess until they get it correct. So when winner becomes true, it's no longer false and they're a winner, and therefore the game ends. So when I come into the game, the first thing I need to make sure is winners equal to false. So when they come back into the loop here, I've got to reset winner equals false. So I'm going to take it out of the global variable area and put it under here. So we come in, play again equals true, because play again equals true up here. It lets us into the loop. And that also sets winner to false, which allows me then to enter the loop here. So when winner becomes true, when they've guessed it, if they want to play again, we need to set that back to false, otherwise they can't actually make a guess. The other thing we need to do when they come back and play again, because they're playing again, we need to reset the guesses. So we need to take the guesses and make that 0. Otherwise, each guess will be on top of the previous guess. So it will just always increment. So if they take 3 in the first game, because that was outside of this loop, the second game would be added onto the previous game. So now we should be able to play the game multiple times. The only other thing I would like to put in here at the moment is you can see, would you like 2 guesses? Yes, no. And then it's got end game. There's lots of comments without return carriages. So what I'm going to do here is put some \n's and a \n here. So that'll put some lines before and after. So when they're too low, I'm going to also put a \n and too high. And when they win the chicken dinner, I'm going to also put a return carriage. So this will start spreading out my information down here and make it look a little bit nicer. So let's have a look. Let's come in and play game 2. The secret number is 22. Would I like a hint? No. Enter your guess. I'm going to put 22. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. End of game. You solved this in one guess. Would you like to play again? Yes. Once again, game 2. Yes, I'd like a hint. It's even. Enter a guess. I'm going to put 84. And you notice now it took 3 guesses. Would you like to play again? No. And then it comes back, thank you for playing. So there we go. This game is now working and we can keep playing it and guessing the numbers. One of the only other things we need to do now is actually set up what's called our low score table. So rather than having a high score, we're looking for the lower score. So I'm going up to the top here and I'm going to put in low score table. So this low score table is going to be equal to what's called an array. So in the array, we're going to have different positions. So I'm just going to put in here 0, 100, 100, 100, 100. So there should be 4 of these. Now the reason for that is game 1 is going to be in the second position of what's called a list or an array. This is position 0 where the 0 is, and then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to use those 4 positions to keep track of the score. And the reason why I put 100 in there, I don't think anyone's actually going to play it and get over 100 guesses. If they do, it'll be quite a scary result. Now, once they've done that, what I want to notify the players before they start playing the game, I actually want to let them know how many guesses there are. So I'm going to let them know what the current low score is. So after they do the guesses, or I might even do it just before. So let's do it here. Let player know the lowest score. So what I would like to do here is go print, and once again I'm going to use those return characters \n, and I'm going to put the current low score for this level is, and then I'm going to actually output the score from the array that relates to the game. So if they select 1 for beginners, I want to see this first one here. So the first position of the array, remember that's 0, that's position 1. So that's going to be my beginners one, and then the next one's going to be easy, hard, and then expert. So I want to see that position there. So to do that is, and outside of this quote here, I'm going to put str, because I'll need to turn the number to a string. I'm also going to put in my low score variable, so low score table, and then what I want to do is put a square bracket, and I'll just scroll that across so we can see. It's a little bit large on my screen at the moment. I'll see if I can shrink that in. So we've got plus str, because this is a number, low score table, and in the square bracket here we actually want to put the game. So at the moment we know what the game they've selected by game range. So if they enter a 4, it's the expert game. So I'm going to put in here game range. So if it is 4, it'll be the 4th position of the array, and then on the end of this I'm going to add one little bit more text just to be nice and put guesses. So when we first play it, and I'll put a return character right on the end, when we first play it, it should say the current low score for this level is, and depending on the game, if they select the 4th one, it'll pick the very last number out, so it should show us 100 guesses. So let's just see if that is working. So I just need to scroll this for a moment. So let's pick 1. So it's told me the secret number. The secret number is 1. It says the current low score for this level is 100 guesses. Would you like a hint? So it actually gives me an idea going, well, if the score's 100, well, yes, give me one of the hints. Okay, it's an odd number, so then I can go and play the game. So that allows me to do that. So when we've won the game, so I'm going to enter in a guess, and I'm just going to put in 1. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. You solved this in 3 guesses. Would you like to play again? I'm going to go yes. And then I'm going to select 1 again. You notice it's still 100 guesses. What I need to do is when I win, if I guess it in 3, I want to update this score from 100 to 3. Now to do that, we need to head down to where we actually win. So in here, there is the user guess equals secret number. So if that is the case and they're a winner and it becomes true, then in here we actually need to say low score table, and then we need to identify the game. So game range. So once again we're using the same variable as we did before. So if they've selected the 4th game, which is expert, then it updates that one. Is equal to, and then we can actually get the guesses. Now the only problem is we want to do that if the guesses is actually lower than the current score that's in the low score table. So we need to use an if statement. So if low score table square bracket game range If that number is greater than guesses, then I want low score game range to become guesses. So if there is currently 100 and I guess it in 3, because this 100 is greater than 3, then the low score table position, say 4 for the expert, then becomes 3. So next time we play the game, 3 would appear in there. So let's check to see if this is working. So let's go back and run our program. I'm going to go with the easy game again, 1. The current number is 7, so I'm going to go yes. I want a hint. So that gives my guesses to 3. I'm going to enter in 7. It goes, you've solved this in 3 guesses. Now you notice that before the current low score is 100. So when I play again and go yes, and I go 1 again, this time it says the current low score level is 3. So it's now updating that. If I play a different game, it will do that to the other games as well. So that concludes our tutorial so far in the high-low game. We're able to play the game, we're able to have guesses. We've also implemented a low score table, and we can allow the users to keep playing. Just to tidy the game up and finish it, you can just work on the outputs and put your returns in. And do not forget, one of the most important things, to make sure you put a hashtag in front of the secret number so they don't know the answer when they play their game. So if you found this tutorial useful, give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Have a look around my YouTube channel for other useful Python tutorials. And I wish you all the best in your Python programming.